Tonight, how business leaders have been responding to a big slump in exports from the east of England. Last year, this region exported goods worth £27 billion, but the latest figures show a fall of £5 billion over the last 12 months. Our business correspondent Richard Bond was at today's conference in Newmarket, where the aim was to change that downward turn.
It's a kind of speed dating for business. Would-be exporters turn up and chat to a country of their choice, 60 nations represented. The man from China was busy, lots of companies wanting hot tips about how to get into a key growth market. Among those at his table, Steve Thorpe. He's from an engineering firm from St Ives. Webtec employs 50 people and makes hydraulic controls and measuring devices. It started selling to China 10 years ago.
Well, China's challenging. It offers enormous potential. There are issues with culture, languages. Finding the right person to actually manage that is quite difficult.
The government puts a lot of effort into boosting exports, but just lately things have been going backwards. Take total exports from the east of England. Last year they fell from £27 billion to £22 billion. And we have whacking trade deficits with two key regions. Our trade deficit with China is £2.7 billion and our deficit with the EU is £17 billion. In other words, they sell a lot more to us than we do to them. The government says the dip in exports is because of the fall in oil prices. This affected companies selling petrol-related products. But exports need to recover if the government is to meet its aim of rebalancing the economy. Richard Bond, BBC Look East, Newmarket.
Well, Alain Paine is the Regional Trade Director for UK Trade and Investment. I asked him how worried we should be.
Well, I think it's always disappointing when we see figures that aren't always continuously climbing and showing the region in a positive angle. I think what we have to bear in mind is a lot of the drop that we've seen is down to one particular sector, the oil and gas products, where we have seen a fall in prices that has depressed that sector's value. But actually, when you look at the underlying trade trends, we still do have more companies exporting than we did a year ago. So there are some positives within it as well.
But, I mean, there's been a lot of talk recently about how our economy is improving, how it's on the up. But, again, this £5 billion slump and the fact that there is this gap that has opened up between export and import seems to contradict that, really.
It does when you look at it on face value. I think we can't hide from that. So there's no point trying to hide behind the figures. They do paint a picture that we want to try and reverse. And I think that's why, for example, the event that we held in Newmarket today in this region, where we had 300 businesses come to speak to 70 overseas markets about opportunities that they can start taking advantage of. And that, for me, is very much the drive going forward. It's trying to get more companies engaged with overseas work so that actually that gap, which is going the wrong way, can hopefully start to come back into balance.
Alain Paine, thank you very much.
Thank you.